Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Have you ever heard that expression, that person has arrived, or you'll know when you arrive? I remember I was looking at an S-Class Mercedes. The MSRP on the car was $110,000. $110,000. And as I was talking to the salesperson, he had mentioned to me, when you buy something like this, you know you've arrived. Somebody pulls up in a car like this at your age, you know you've arrived. I did not buy the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, just so you know, I did not. But what I did do is I had a good conversation with that salesperson about who is the type of person that buys this type of vehicle. What is the person's personality? What is their income? And we were going through that, and I said, you know what? Someday that's going to be me. Someday I'll be in a position where having a choice like this is an option. And then at that point, I would know that I have arrived. It's not always the case. And here's my point. I want you to know that whatever stage you're at in your life, that good problems, bad problems, living life, a down state, an up state, a mundane state, that feeling of average, just cruising along, it's going to happen. This is the time when you have to realize, are your goals in alignment with the person that you want to be, with the direction that you want to go in your life? And the biggest problem I think that I solve for most people is just identifying what it is they want out of life by identifying where they're currently at. And then you take all of the logic and reason out of it, just completely get rid of it. And then you realize that if you knew you couldn't fail, what type of goals would you put down? What type of life would you want to live? What type of things would you want to have? And when that conversation begins, it becomes, the light goes on in the individual that the only limitations that I have are me. And it's my solution that I provide to you through the blueprint that gives you the opportunity to realize that these ambitious goals, once you put them down on paper, are not unrealistic if you have a plan. And the moral of today's podcast is something that's going on with where I'm at personally, and I'm following my own rules, is, you just need to keep working at it. And let me explain. You have your situations that are going on right now, and sometimes those situations are too big for you to look over to realize that, there's no way I'm going to be able to create my ideal life. But what if you couldn't fail? What if you said, I know I'm going to create my ideal life, and this is how it would look, and I'm going to spend the first part of my day working towards that ideal life. I'm really going to work at it, and I'm going to do it in 15-minute blocks. Because when you get enough of those 15-minute blocks, you're going to have a great day. And after 15 minutes, if something bad happens, you realize in that 15-minute increment, you realize that you can transition to the next 15 minutes because that bad day doesn't have to last forever. That bad moment doesn't have to last forever. And that's what I believe in humanity so much. I believe in the individual so much because I know that sometimes, believe it or not, there can be so many distractions in your life. There can be so many problems that are coming your way. It can turn into overwhelm. It can turn into worry. It can turn into anxiety. And if you don't take care of it, if you don't take care of that, what happens, it's kind of like a man's beard. I heard this recently. If you don't take care of it, it'll just keep growing and getting bigger and longer and less manageable. So if you take the time to literally, and when I say literally, I mean when you take the time literally to focus on what problems that you have, not spending too much time on it, but more importantly, looking at the solution. I should say, when you take time to focus on the solution of where you want to go, then your life's going to change. And those little things, let's just call it what it is, showing affection to your wife, the little thing, having a one-on-one conversation, spending time with each other after a long day's work, spending time with your sales team, checking in with them, touching base with your employees, touching base with your customers, just being that person that can actually have or hold that conversation and acknowledge the other person's presence. You just need to keep at it. Things are pretty rough right now in my world, in the retail automotive automobile sales world. We just hit a downturn. We sold a lot of inventory. We don't have a lot of it, and our numbers are compromised because of it. Now, we're doing a lot of things that are right, but when it comes down to the inventory, I just don't have the necessary inventory. It's a huge challenge. I need to find the inventory, leverage what I do have, and get more of the stuff that we have a greater ability to sell. We're trying to sell stuff that's just not moving very quick, and it's challenging. But I know if we keep at it, the right stuff is going to come our way. We're going to be selling more, we're going to be doing more, and we're going to have a lot more. I just need to keep everybody's mind going the right direction and working together instead of working apart from each other or blaming each other or going into grip mode. Hold on, man, this is the worst it's going to be. Contracting everything. Now's time to keep at it and do more of those activities that work in the bad times. And if things are going great for you, and if you find that, as you listen to this podcast, things are getting better for you, your life is turning around, you are becoming that ideal person of yourself that you've always wanted to be, and you're loving who you are, do more of the things that got you there. It just gets greater and greater. There's no limits to the person that you want to become. There's no limits to the goals and things that you could achieve with the right mindset. Recently, I've been on this goal-seeking mission for the past 3 years. I've got distracted. I've got a little overwhelmed, but I keep on track. I have my goals in front of me. And there's milestones along the way when you have sense of accomplishments. And it's great accomplishing those little milestones, but when the big ones hit, when those things happen, there's signs all over the place that you're going the right direction. You have to have a plan to know where you're going, and you have to know that when there is a destination you're going to, but more importantly, you should know that the journey is the best part of the whole thing. And it's kind of cool to wake up not knowing, but realizing that you're going the right direction because it's what your intentions are. My message to you today on this beautiful day, when you have the whole world in front of you and you have all these great things that are happening. Sure, you could focus on bad stuff, but truly, if you just decide what type of day you're going to have and you keep moving towards that ideal and you have that goal in place and you have a plan to get there, today could just be the best day ever. It really could. What I encourage you to do if you need help with this, go to launchwithdan.com. Go to launchwithdan.com. Get on the calendar. Let's have a conversation about where you're currently at, where you might be stuck, where you want to go. And if you don't know, I can help you with that. And then we'll lay out a plan, a real quick plan. It'll probably take 10 minutes just for me to explain the plan. And I know it's going to shed some clarity on where you want to go. And if you just apply the principles of what we talk about in this free phone call, this 30 minutes of me getting to know you, you getting to know me, and going over a game plan, that 10 minute of information that I share with you, it's going to be life-changing. It's going to put you in the right direction. It's nothing more and nothing less than that very, very simple plan that for some people is just not so easy. But after it's explained, life becomes a little bit easier. Life becomes a little more magical, but only and only if you get outside of your comfort zone and commit to live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.